Hey guys, it's Tuesday afternoon and we've got another great Speedway chat show. Here's my co-host, Mr. Childs.
Oh, copyright. How are you, Jezza?
Yeah. I'm pretty good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I set up a little Australian theme for our mates to have a chat tonight. Lots happened in the past couple of days with Speedway as well, hasn't there? Cardiff officially cancelled, which has been a sting into the arse of a good day out or a good weekend, and Glasgow saying if it goes ahead, they're not going to run, mate. Yeah. So a few Speedway news. The boys have been practicing in Poland flat out. So one of the names that was mentioned to come on tonight can't be here because he's probably riding right now. But we've got some cracking stories, some cracking photos tonight lined up. You want to see what they're wearing as well tonight, eh? Hey, those boys, those two boys, you know the ones.
Those boys. So if everybody who's watching today can let us know where they're watching from, just comment below, share. There is another prize, like when we did the Team GB, there was a competition for the amount of likes. This time we're going to do shares. So the more shares that you put out, one of our guests is giving away some stuff, and he's actually put a challenge out that if we can get 100 shares, he'll up what he's going to give out. So shall we go right into it? Should we introduce them one by one? What should we do, Charlesy?
Is there still one missing?
Oh, there's still two missing.
They're Aussies, mate. They'll turn up. I'll take his hat off otherwise. Look, the Australian team manager, Mark Lemons, joining us from his home in somewhere in the UK. It's confidential at the moment because he's in hiding. We got SGP regular Max Frick joining us as well. We have two of the three brothers of Redlow Racing, Jack Holder and Crispy Holder. And tuning in from somewhere when he gets there, he's been at the track all day practicing, will be young Brady Kurtz. And I believe he's with Jamin Lindsay. Lindsay. So he might join us as well. Yeah. Let's get the boys on and let's crack onto it. There goes my wife.
Right. Here is Team Australia.
You do it the whole way?
Well, some of the Team Australia. All right, boys, how are you?
Some of them, man.
Hey.
Charlesy, it's always a pleasure.
There you go, mate.
You'd have to do this twice a week, Lemo. It's not a pleasure.
Looks like it's Australia there.
Hey, wherever I am in the world, we can't tell anyone for legal reasons. Max, you look like you're frozen, but I know you're with us. Not if you can hear me. All right. Firstly, guys, thanks for coming on and having a chat. It's good to see all your Aussie boys. Start with the Redlow boys. What's Poland like in terms of the lockdown and quarantine in Bournemouth? What are you up to anyway, you two?
We just got back off the jet ski.
Yeah? I bet you're not wearing any shoes either, Jack.
No. I don't own a pair.
What's going to go on with you boys? Obviously, with the Torrens situation, not in the Extra Liga. So, what's the plan for you boys now? Is there any movement on getting over there and getting your right legs over the bikes?
Yeah, I think so. We don't know. I think maybe sometime.
Oh, sorry, Jack. I gotta stop you there because 2 days ago we did have a conversation and you requested that only Jerry interview you. So I'll stop. Jerry, off you go.
Why am I interviewing him?
It's your show.
It's my show. Well, you had a little solo piece that you was going to mention, wasn't you, Childsy?
That was it. Jack wanted to only be mentioned, only wanted to be interviewed by you, he said.
Jack wants to be only interviewed by me. Right, okay, so I've been stitched right up here. So let's go with it then. I have no idea what to ask you because I was leaving that to Chelsea. Because he's a tit. Come on, Charles, come back.
I'm back. Yeah, so what's the situation with that in all seriousness, boys? Are you going to be riding a bike anytime soon?
Yeah, I think so. It's a plan, but I think next week they said that they'll know if we have to go over there and quarantine or not, because it's all changing so fast over there. So
yeah,
I reckon they're starting on the 12th of July, the first meeting. So sometime before then we should be there.
it's the goalposts are moving, and Mark, feel free to pop in. Like I'm into my F1 as well, and obviously they've just announced a shortened calendar to obviously get a season done over 8 races and things like that. And you wake up yesterday morning and things are different to today. So what are you hearing as the team Oz boss? Are you getting any inside information about things happening? Obviously Cardiff's cancelled, mate. So are you hearing anything else?
No, pretty much like everyone else is, glued to the government guidelines. On the 5 p.m. at night, it's the highlight. But just trying to find out what's the go. As we see from country to everything is evolving daily, and we don't really know. We can't sort of, in this country anyway, work out what's going on. We've seen Glasgow today put out a statement saying they're not going to run, but you've got to understand probably Scottish regulations are a little bit stiffer and stringent than say the rest of the UK. So we're watching Poland sort of unravel, and it looks like their restrictions are lightening up. So there's some positives, but back in Australia, I see that the supercars are going to start at the end of the month with crowds. So it's starting to happen. The horse racing here yesterday. So it's a moving target, really, but we just need some action. It's like there's too much content out here, isn't there, at the moment?
I spoke to a few boys in Aussie yesterday, and I can't believe the contrast to how well they didn't really have it. They haven't really had the pandemic. I think they've had bang on 100 deaths, maybe 110 or something. So whether they've escaped it, whether that no one's had it and they're going to get it, who's going to know? But the difference in worlds is absolutely unbelievable in sporting, in social, and everything. Obviously, James Holder, your brother, boys, he's back there. What's he been saying about it?
Not a lot.
No different, man. They're going to work every day, and there really hasn't been, apart from the kids not playing sport on the weekends, there don't seem to be any real change.
Unless you're some of the boys that have travelled back over here, come over for the start of the season, then shot off home, and if they didn't quite catch the time zone right, look at Jamin Lindsay, went home, got stuck in quarantine in a hotel, but come back, and then he was there for like 4 or 5 weeks, and he's come back to Poland. He's been stuck in quarantine with Brody for like 2 weeks. So
yeah, but he's from Mildura. That's what he's always have to do, don't you?
Oh, jeez. Can you hear us now, Max?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Yeah, great stuff, mate. You've been speaking to anyone at home, and what's the situation back where you're from?
It seems pretty good. Everyone I've spoke to back home, life seems pretty normal there. So no real big changes. Where I'm from, it's like not too far from a ski resort. So they've got plans to open the ski resort a little bit late in the season than normal. But other than that, everything's kind of more or less back to normal for them.
Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it? You talk about action in Mildura, Mark. I have to bring it up. One of my first big moments in Speedway was you and Boise in '94. You boys seen the
my
crash?
first big moment too.
If anyone hasn't seen this crash, watch it through, because you got to see Boise's off, and Mark just ragdolls. Watch this. This is brilliant. This is class. 1994 on the uprights. We've got it, haven't we, Jez? Come on, boss.
Yep, here it is.
Here we go. 1994 Australian, no air fences here.
Oh, Pooley's got a bit wild out the back.
Here it comes.
That's me in a second. Oh, Boise's going now, mate.
Boom.
Thank you.
Oh!
Thank you, mother, for the rabbits.
Wake up, Mark. Wake up.
I'll just lie here for a second.
Did you get the footrest in the
slow-mos there as well?
No, I didn't, but I think it's I spread eagled it, thank God. But I did get a nice old burn underneath my arm from the exhaust pipe, because But yeah, I tagged the light post. Smashed the helmet to smithereens.
He's out cold. There you are.
Worst part about it is like before the meeting, Boise didn't have a stand, didn't have the right sprocket, didn't have enough fuel. I lent him all that, and then he never returned it after the meeting, and he did that to me. That's the thanks you get.
Return it.
Yeah,
He couldn't return it. He didn't know what ward you're in.
No. Old Boise. I mean, he was a hard charger. Look at him get off. He gets off pretty large too. You're not happy.
I can't believe he's been excluded.
It's funny though. We were going about I don't know 5 years ago, probably just before Boise returned home, and we're in the clubhouse after a meeting somewhere, and he's like, he's had a few sherbets, and he's like, Lamo, I've got to tell you, I absolutely did you. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry. Do you forgive me? I'm like, Jesus, man. It's like, let it go. It's like, how many years ago? But that's not cool. That's cool. And the worst thing about it, then he goes and hands me the national manager's job after him. So I was like, cheers, boys. Thanks. Great brother.
It's the funniest interview, isn't he? He's on the infield and he's going, he just turned left. He turned left on me. I had nowhere to go. Oh, God.
But that was that moment. I was in the qualifying place for the Commonwealth final, and obviously I didn't make the rerun, funnily enough, and so I missed out in qualifying for the Commonwealth final, which meant that I was I'd been out of England for like 2 years with visa problems, and that meant I had to miss another year because I failed to make the qualifying criteria. Mate, that's stiffed up.
I spoke to the blonde bombshell, Mr. Excitement, Mick Poole, the other night, and I said, make sure you watch. We're showing a video where you come second in the rerun.
You love Maduro.
Oh, mate, he didn't get on well, did he? That's the meeting where Dingo Davies, Steve, looped it at the start as well, didn't he? Hey, and you young boys, do you remember who won that meeting?
Lee.
Have to be Lee.
What did he score? How many points did he score? Look at you, all over it. 21. Hey, Max, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been up to today, pal?
I haven't missed. I'm kind of missing half of what you're saying, but we haven't been up to too much today. We went down the stadium for a little bit. I didn't practice today, so I just kind of caught the end of practice and caught up with everyone down there. But really, I haven't been doing a whole lot today. Had a pretty easy day.
How far away from the stadium and stuff are you, mate? And what's the lockdown like in terms of being able to go out in the street? It's different down in Bournemouth. They're on jet skis, so.
It's not. We're not quite on jet skis, but it's pretty normal here actually. Pretty relaxed. I just kind of cruise down to the stadium just to fill in a bit of time. Really, I'm in the centre of Roslav, which is about 10 minutes to the track. But there's not a whole lot really to do. I don't have much here.
Get on the
in the way of
scooters.
things to do.
Scooters.
So. Yeah. That's how I get to and from the track. They've got these little electric scooters around the city. There's these little electric Lime scooters. So that's my form of transport at the moment.
Perfect.
Jesus. And you two boys, not to dwell too much into the finances, but every time you're not riding a bike, each week that goes past, it's starting to eat into the money, right?
100%. For sure, man. Everything, we haven't really earned anything since last year properly anyway, since like September last year. So we went to Aussie and we get a little bit doing the Australian Championship, but that's pretty much, covers the cost and keeps you running out there for a couple of months. And when you're back here and you spend a bunch of money on bikes and engines and whatnot, I could do with a few meetings.
It's not a good time for a speedway rider at the moment. I can assure you. It's tough enough like for most people being out of work and being furloughed or whatever. But I think what you really have to sort of focus in on here is like these speedway boys, the start of the season, that they invest in their business, everything to sort of go for the whole season really to get up and running, because it's no good buying this at midway during the season when you need it at the start. So the outlay is huge at the start of the season, and to have this banged on them as well. glad I'm not a rider no more. Sorry, boys.
And how's that affect like a team manager like yourself, Mark, who isn't half as sponsored as someone like Neil Middleditch, who
It's tough.
is obviously it's
tough.
tough. I
But-
only say that. I've got the shirt. Survived Bailey House. And Midlow's just commented he's just got back from his handicap round of golf as well.
But he has to use those sponsors to offset his recycling charge, every week for all those bottles. Now he gets a collection.
Yeah, I've seen that his bottle collection.
That's impressive.
Right. And if you just joined us, we are still waiting for Brady. He said he is going to make it, but who knows with Ginger. And it wouldn't be the Speedway chat show if we didn't have some interesting photos of some of you lot. So the first one is I was driving in the van yesterday, Jack, and a song come on and it reminded me of you. And I don't know if you know the lyrics. It says, "You've got the most unbelievable blue eyes I've ever seen." Do you know that song?
No, I don't. But I know. I think I know what picture you got to put up.
Walk us through that one, Jackie.
Fresh 18, mate. Got I had some contact lenses and that was like a bright blue.
Appin's never been so busy, has it?
They're on point.
That was the tag.
Was that MacArthur Tavern?
Yeah, that's when it was like that on Friday night. They had like a bit of a turn into a nightclub sort of thing. And yeah, I was fresh 18, I think maybe on the Thursday. So, I went pretty large the next night on the Friday, as you could tell. My eyes went blue.
The old MacArthur Tavern. I tell you what, I think I must have went. I think I went up and played some poker there. So it must have been 2 years ago. I tell you what, man. There's glasses, bottles, there's security guards. It's hardcore. Yeah, isn't it just? And Max, we've got some crashes of yours, buddy. We've got one that Jerry, you going to ask a question tonight, or are you going to sit there and look at your phone, bud?
I'm actually looking at the computer. Yeah, no, we seen this one of Max, and it looks like your head's about to twitch off.
I reckon your eyes are blue there too.
Yeah.
I think my eyes
What
are rolled in the back of my
the
head.
hell happened there?
To be honest,
I
if you
think
ask me, I don't really remember a whole lot.
He's trying to see if anything's bent on his bike.
He's trying to do a Lemmo.
I remember before
Yeah,
this
I was
meeting,
doing my best Lemo impression there.
I let in my charger for his phone, little battery pack, and
Didn't get
I
that
never, gone. He blames he can't recall the incident, but
Never give me anything before I race.
no, not you, Max.
No, I'm telling you.
Ah,
Never give me
right.
anything before I race.
Give you shit. Oh dear.
And then you've
I don't
also
think we've got.
got another one,
Go.
which is pretty
Oh.
similar.
Sleeping
I
on
mean,
the
that
job
looks
again.
like a nasty one as well. Have you got like a rubber neck or something? What's going on?
I've got the that was a classic, wasn't it? But
Yeah, big one.
But I've actually got the photo of when we came back. You guys might remember. It's the only photo I have in the house. I'll show you, but Max won't remember this walk of shame.
From the walking back. I think I know the one you mean.
Bye, Mark.
Yeah, see, Mark.
Is that enough?
Also, I don't think we preloaded the footage. But one of the biggest crashes of SGP last year at Melilla, Max, everyone was talking about Freddie purposely doing a jump or whatever. I was more concerned about your trailing. I think it was your left leg.
Left leg, yeah. Flogged it.
That took one, didn't it? Delay. Yep. Good chat.
Yeah.
Now I'll just run you through this photo.
I missed
I don't know if you can
something.
see this photo. Can you see that photo, guys?
Bit closer. Yeah, nice.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So that's after that crash that Max had at Manchester in the Speedway World Cup. We're walking back there like, "You're right, Max." He's like, "Yeah, I'm good to go." And it's like, "Nah, no, you're not, buddy." So yeah, that was a
Seeing stars.
yeah.
Um,
so-
I remember the one
So-
in Torren that he had. Then I think he got knocked out in Torren as well. And I remember chatting to you in the pits, and you had no idea what was going on. I think Mark Courtney was there, and I was just like, "Is he all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think we'll take
going
him
out in the
to see
reruns.
what happens."
He was trying to take on the
Pretty
security.
serious crash.
he was going out for the next race. He was like,
For you boys down the bottom, we've got a guess the person. You know which one I'm talking about, Jez. He's not here, so put it up.
Which one? We've got plenty.
The
of
youngest one. Who's that? Who's that?
BK.
That is Brady
What about-
Kurtz. Look at it. Hasn't changed a minute.
Got that one from Midlow.
The day after.
Oh, the youngest one is this one.
Oh, Sue, she'll kill us for that. Oh, I hope he
Keezy's
logs
not
in.
here. Let's just go
No,
down.
DK.
on him. Yeah.
Can't believe he hasn't turned up.
he takes a
I've
good picture.
messaged him as well. Yeah, he takes a good picture. We've got some good ones here of Chris and Jack.
Oh, Jesus.
Jack looks like
Jesus.
he's in his element here.
No blue eyes there. What's going on, Chris?
Wasn't me.
and we got Chris playing Buckaroo.
Yeah,
Who's
nice.
that? Who's that on the chair?
It's at Ashley Jones's meeting in Albury a few years ago. I'm not sure who's on the chair, but that's probably about 6 a.m. And
Not the one I was at.
Yeah, the one at Albury.
We've
Tony
kept
and all that.
dueling the car and the fence. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
I was in
dear.
the club room.
Moose McGowan on the Harley.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh, what
Scott Smith on the thumbster thing.
Oh, Scott Smith. Oh God. So listen, Jack. In all seriousness, your career is blossoming. What's it like to have a big brother to look up to? It's a shame James can't be here, but what's it been like?
Yeah, it's good. When I sort of first started over here, I lived at his house. He gave me some bikes, and yeah, I got all the good stuff. So now he doesn't give me too much anymore. But no,
You make more than him now, aren't you?
yeah.
At the moment.
So you can't tell us anything more about that apart from you think there's a date in July that you boys might be able to ride Poland, and the
Yeah.
UK season is still what it is, isn't it? Really, it's just up in the air. It's no good.
Terrible.
Am I hearing right? Am I hearing right now though, Chris and Jack, that like if you go to Poland now, you don't have to quarantine?
That's what they're talking about. That's
Yeah.
what they got to suss out. I think they said they'll know in the beginning of next week, because they reckon 100% we're starting on the 12th of July, and then hopefully next week or whatever they're going to be able to give us more info on all the contracts and all that kind of stuff, because obviously it's got to change a little bit, and like where you're going to live and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, about the quarantine thing. I don't think they want us. If we can go later and not do it, that's what they're sort of looking at. But they just got to, like you said, it changes all the time. So hopefully it changes for the better for us, and we don't have to do what them boys have to do. That looked torture. But yeah, so,
but hopefully Brady makes it on. I know he was at the track about an hour ago, so he was pushing for time. But one thing I wanted to ask him is obviously with Teague, are you speaking to any of the boys that have been back that actually got here, the Josh Krasonics, the Sam Masters, the TKs? Have any of you boys spoke to them, and what are they doing? I know a few of them are back in work. I know Josh is working in a mine or something, and TK's doing the roofing and all that sort of stuff. But what are their thoughts of it? Are they writing off this year now? Be fair, boys, we're in June.
Pretty much. Spoke to that little Benny Cook. It was going to be his first season over here with the Pirates. So, yeah, I still, speak with him a little bit. But, yeah, he's back at work, and I don't think, he's not really thinking about it too much coming back over. He's just sort of living a normal life again and see what happens. But I don't think anything will
yeah, I
happen.
can't see England racing. No way. they can't have fans in there. I can't see how they can do it.
Yeah. It's,
Well, it's just we got to wait and see, really. I think everyone's just got the fingers crossed that the virus sort of lightens up and we can get back some restrictions lifted and we can get some crowds in, because that's the key to operating. Obviously, we've seen other sports being able to operate under a sanitized regime, but hopefully the rules relax and we get on top of this virus, that we may be able to see some racing. I mean, as the BSBA, we're pretty hopeful that we can get something in August. What that will look like or what that will be, we'll have to wait and see. But it's fingers crossed. But a few of the other boys, they're just twiddling their thumbs, really, just waiting to get the go ahead, the green light to come back. I know Rowan's on his way back now to Poland for Wooch, and some of the other boys are just they're just in limbo at the moment. It must be horrible.
is that the club lot?
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah, I remember we going there one year with Watto. It's LODZ, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lods. And I'm asking everyone in Poland where Lods is, and I got nowhere fast.
They'd heard about you, Charlesy.
What?
They knew
Man.
what you meant.
All I got told is back in the late 90s, when obviously Mark, as well, we used to have to drive to Poland the 20 odd hours, and all I got told was just show them a photo card. If you ever got stopped, show them like because back then they used to have the Speedway photo cards. And if you ever get stopped, just show them that and wish for the best. And we got away with a few as well. I know you have, Chris, haven't you? Got away with a few over the years. Nah. Good point.
Yeah, I think when it first sort of opened up back in the 90s, like you get stopped by the police. And I remember this one particular time we were heading out to Lublin, and I had an English mechanic and a German mechanic, and I'd been sleeping in the bunk. We got pulled over. I was like, "Come on, we've got to get going, guys. We're going to be late." They're like, "No, we can't go in here. They've got our driver's license." I'm like, "Oh God, okay." So we can replace them. Let's go. Because they've got our passports too. So I was like, "You're joking." So Mikey was the German guy. He's like speaking Deutsch to them. He says they want payment. Probably shouldn't really say this, but they're basically so 150 Deutschmarks they want. And I was like, oh, man, all right, there you go. Comes back with one passport. It was like 450 later, you buggers. So off we trot, and just like, anyway.
I think those European ones are the best, aren't they? Their stories, because of that language barrier, is because I was hoping we got Brady on, because Jake Barrett, who used to spanner for you as well, Jack, didn't he?
Yeah.
At Somerset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he messaged me the other day, and he said they were coming back from somewhere or other, and the van broke down, and they didn't want the van to be towed. So there was Brady was using Google Translate, trying to get in. Don't tow my van. Don't put it on the tilt tray. And he couldn't type fast enough. And the van's going on. Yeah, she's on, and you're in for some money. They always speak English anyway. Some good questions coming through as well. Mark, what do you think about Crumpy riding again?
I think he's nuts. It's like he's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. It's like, but he's obviously got an itch. He wants to scratch, and like, fair play. I mean, personally, I think he retired too young. I know he was 38, but he was still Grand Prix rider, top star. But he had enough at the particular time, and he's obviously been away, and it feels like he's ready to cover another go. So I can't knock him for that. I wish I could come back, but my body says nah. But good for him. But interesting. So
the follow-up question was, could he be a contender for the SON if it's around?
Everyone's a contender.
Everyone's a contender.
Yeah.
Political lemon in the house.
Get a few meetings in, see if he's going any good.
He's in.
And in all seriousness, you've got two SGP boys in contention with Max and Doyley. Is it a foregone conclusion, or is it literally, from your eyes, who's on form when that tournament comes around?
Probably if we gone on in May, if we had been able to stage it in May the 8th and 9th, possibly, it might have been a foregone conclusion because nobody had any form. So current, Grand Prix riders, Max winning the Australian Championship, you probably have to say, they would have just had to take the gigs. But now we're obviously going to watch the form of the boys once they get started racing in Poland, and go from there. So it's open slather now. It's never been any different. Your form will get you selected. So we've got time now. And I think now that the World Cup's going to be later in October, in Manchester in October is not probably the best time of the weather, but the good thing, I think the World Cup should probably be at the tail end of the season anyway, because the boys have got form through the year. So you've got a better chance to pick the right one. I mean, there's been a couple of times where you kind of clutching at straws, like, I need more meetings to select the guys because they're like, they're chalk and cheese and there's nothing between them. And, Chris normally got the gig. So, so it's, yeah.
It's experience, mate.
What's your boys' preference? Like, I'm a big fan of the World Team Cup. I love the 4 or 5 boys. I love the team thing. I'm not a massive thing of the pairs thing they got going on with the Speedway Nations. Everyone's got an opinion. What are your actual thoughts, Chris and Jack, on being just a 2-man team or being a pairs event?
When it's the pairs, it's more like just could be the World Pairs Championship, because it's not a team event as such as 2 guys, and that's like it can be a pairs championship easily. But at the same time, it's better for the sport when more countries can be involved in it. So it gives a lot more countries within in the mix a little bit. But then when we did the World Team Cup with we had 5 and then 4, I think that I reckon the 4 boys or 5 or whatever it is, that's the most fun. That's like a great week and a half on the road with the team, and that's definitely I'd miss that one for sure. I'd definitely prefer that. That's a better setup. But for the sport, probably pairs is better for more countries and something different too. So yeah.
And Jack, you go on, Mark.
Yeah. As a manager, the 2's good. There's less boys to look after.
Less people to go off at you.
Yeah, true.
More to disappoint though. Jack, obviously you got time on your side, mate, but that'd be something that you'd be aiming for. You've had a massive rivalry. We've lost Max because of his internet connection. Brady's on his way back from the track, but this is Australia. We don't give 2 shits. We've got enough boys here. You've had some rivalry over the years. How would you rate Brady, Max, and yourself now if there was a podium?
Depends on the day, really. We're all just as good as each other. Like the Aussie Championship, Max won, but then through the heats and stuff, we all could beat each other and Brady. So we're all probably even, but Max is probably he's in the GPs and me and BK aren't. That's pretty simple. But
I'm going to predict something now, Jack. I'm going to predict something. Brady. Hey, Ginge got there.
Go the 350 Aussie title.
And then the 500. That actual race, I think it was whoever really had the inside gate on the junior speedway between us all.
Jack, come on, buddy.
Come on, mate. 4 times.
And BK had 1. I think Max might have had 2 and I was off 3. And it got rerun about 4 times because all 3 of us crashed every time. It was, we had to get to that first corner. It wasn't a lot of passing back in them days. But, we're all good mates. So, good fun.
Speaking of that, I can't remember the year, but I remember a British final being like that. I think
Wolverhampton.
Was it Scott at Wolverhampton? Yeah, I think it got rerun 3 or 4 times. Was it
Kennett.
Scott Nichols, Bomber? Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Mark, how are you getting an income now, buddy, with no work?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm the same as everyone. We're still working behind the scenes, and obviously hopeful that we're going to get a season up together. But it's a pretty tough time for a lot of people. So I'm no different.
He's on the insurance from that crash with Boise still.
I'm on an invalid pension, still can't walk straight.
Stuart Clark just said 2011 British final. I knew it was some time, but geez, that one went on. How's the animal watching going on Snapchat with the squirrels and stuff, Mark? Have you found some friends?
Yeah, we actually had a deer on our guard last night. you know, it's like Mrs. coming this morning. Oh, we had deer on the back garden. I'm like, what? How do you know? And she's like, oh, the droplings. I'm like, come on, sure enough. We googled it. It was deer, but we have loads of deer around here. We had like baby rabbits, and we had we've just had 4 chickens hatch. So well, not hatch. We had to buy 3 because we had this single chook that hadn't been eaten by a fox left, and she's a proper survivor. But she went broody all of a sudden, so we got her some eggs, man. Popped them underneath her, and after 5 weeks, they didn't lay, they didn't hatch, so we like felt bad for her, so we went and bought some, and just swapped them over and put some little chicks underneath, and she's as happy as Larry now. Going good, mate.
How did she taste on Sunday night?
Not quite yet. She's
Not yet.
Not yet. Too early.
There's a nice little question there. What do you think of maybe it being? I think it was Jake, wasn't it? Young Barrett. What do you think? Maybe the pairs 1 year World Team Cup, pairs World Team Cup, pairs. And before you answer, is money a factor when it comes to tournaments run with backings like MA and SFIMO and things like that? Is money a problem? From you, Mark, first, and then from the rider's point of view.
We don't know.
Money's always a problem. But,
Yeah.
No, I think when it comes to those competitions, the FIM make up the decisions. We as a federation, we have no say. We just said, this is the competition. Do you want to enter? And like, you know, personal preference, I far head and shoulders would go for the Speedway World Cup. You know, having 4 or 5 boys, you know, group, it's just a proper team. It feels good. You know, we get there, the bonding's always been pretty good. You know about it. You know, obviously, when we went to Manila and carved it up, you know, like, that was a pretty loose World Cup, to be quite honest. You know, we had the mini bikes out there and on the little junior track. And I remember it was Busa Wirebrand comes out. He's like, "What are you doing, man? You have a chance to win gold, you know, tomorrow." It's just like, this is what they do. They got bark off from everywhere. It's like banging into each other. They got a World Cup the next day, but we were pretty unlucky not to win that one. But it's nothing to do with the preparation. But I think the bonding and the fun we had as a group far outweighs the Speedway Nation. The Speedway Nation has become really professional, which is great. Not that we weren't professional with the World Cups, but it just, you don't have that time together. You know, like when we talk about budgeting, you know, we had the Australian Sports Commission, you know, take the funds away from us from the federation, the cuts. You know, the Olympics had it as well, all the teams. And I was like trying to like put the package together, and we ended up, the budget was pretty tight. We ended up staying in some jail in Vestavik. And remember, we rocked up there at midnight, and they got these big, you know, badass keys into these like chunky clocks, and they got no windows or anything. And I think that was probably one of the best trips we had.
At the river.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Mark, you said before we went live that you had some merchandise that you could give away to the fans if they got up to 100 shares. We're only at 30, so everyone's got to pull their finger out.
Share away.
Share away.
Hang on.
Mark will
Did you see Charles's eyes go, we've got some giveaways? He's like, oh, yeah.
I think
Charles
Frankie's going to share something. Go,
He's
Frank.
going to be sharing.
Yeah, so we got some polos, Team Australia polos, 100 shares. Get in there, guys.
Tell me how I win, Mark. Tell me how I win.
You just got to hit the share button. And there's Stubby Holder and Aussie Gap. Rare.
Oh, those hats are like rocking horse shit,
They
man.
are.
Right? Especially when you're in charge.
Got to watch the budget.
Yeah. For you two boys, I like looking back at the Australian Speedway, like the video of Mark and Boise's crash, and not much has changed in Australia when you go to one of those meetings. Talk us through, and the people watching, just how different going to it back home is. They're all individuals. There's no team racing in Australia. It's normally 40 degrees or it's rained off. It's one or the other.
Or fly out.
Yeah. What gets you going about those Australian meetings? Because it's so different. There's the personalities. It's you're in bush tracks and things like that. Does it get you excited to go back and race back home?
Yeah, of course. You know, you get to, you know, your family and friends can come and watch sometimes. So, you know, over here it's hard. They can't really, you know, watch anything sort of unless it's like online or the updates. So, yeah, it's always good going back, you know, traveling in the car with mum and dad and, you know, listening to dad's iPod mix all over and over again.
I see Mick's doing a lot with Boise with the Speedway Experience, boys. I think they've just posted that they got something going back now. I think at Curry, where you can just turn up, you book in advance, take your own bike, or ride a bike. This stuff for Australia is absolutely pivotal, what they're doing, because you just can't sit back and think people are going to do it. You must be proud to punch that old Mix, just pushing the course so much as well.
Stop, man. He does not stop. He's going up, I think, on the weekend to do a junior riding school up in Summersby, and that's like a 2.5 hour drive for us one way.
Yeah.
So he'll go up and do that and bark at all the young kids, get their elbows up and all the rest of it. They're flat out. And then obviously Boise's training schools, he goes and helps out there and does all the, you know, the usual stuff that they do. Boise yells at them and tells them where to go and what to do.
It's a pep talk.
But he's not stopping, mate. He loves it. He loves it.
Yeah,
so
and
give him some
obviously we touch on Appen because where you, unless you know Australia, it's really hard, isn't it? You got the suburbs, Campbelltown and all that, and then you got 5 minutes away and you're in
rural,
where you boys live. Rural, where, you know, if you wear shoes to school, you're from the posh bit of Appen.
Something like that.
The Appen Warriors. Jim Bob, James Holder's got a young baby. Did you get to see him before you flew over this year?
Yeah, we sure did. She was supposed to come out, I think, in the start of the Aussie Championships on the 6th, and we were around at New Year's Eve at our place, you know, playing some pool and having a few drinks and laughs, and, you know, we went to sleep and Mum come charging in the room at about 5 in the morning, I think, going, she's at it. I'm like, what? Cool. She was playing in the pool game about an hour ago.
Oh, she was there.
Yeah, she was.
Oh,
yeah.
Not a bad setup you've got at your mum and dad's in Appen. It reminds me of the Big Brother backyard. So for whatever reason, you got the pool and a nice artificial grass. Yeah. All the social media that comes from there. Jack with his blue eyes after MacArthur Tavern.
Laying out the back.
Lemo, in terms of your job with Motorcycling Australia, does that go back to the Australian summer, or it's literally a European job for you, mate?
No, pretty much just over here, just managing the teams while we're over here. You know, I've been involved in a couple of training camps in Adelaide, just to raise the World Team Cup fundraisers. And really, no, when I go back, I just watch the boys get a hot in the race boots and
get the sweat on.
I sit up on the hill and watch them. So yeah, just observe. But no, not really.
Pretend you're scouting.
That's it, mate.
Yeah. There was a good question here, and it actually links into something that I heard today for Barry Rigger. 2 comments up, Jerry. Does any of the panel think that Lee Adams is the best rider never to have won the world title? It's a hotly debated question, isn't it, the book?
He'd be up there. I'd rate him as one of the best ever Speedway riders. He's had the perfect style, perfect setup, everything. He didn't win the world title, but, you know, how many guys get to win that? So that's not one that you can just, you know, grab quite easily. But overall, he was, if you wanted to know how to ride a Speedway bike, I wanted to pick, you know, go off somebody, that's the guy you'd try and copy, but not many can. No one can.
Yeah. Mark, you rode and grew up with Lee Mildura. A common thing that we hear, and I guess for you guys knowing the sport and what it takes to ride a Speedway bike full noise, is a lot of criticism went to Lee about not being aggressive enough. What's your thought? I just think he was that good. He made it look like he was going slow, but to race him, he didn't give an inch, did he?
No, it's a fair assumption to say he wasn't aggressive enough. Like, like it's funny because like Lee in Europe to Lee in Australia, like Lee used to grow horns when he was in Australia. He won 10 Australian championships. He was, when those TAP series, the International Speedway Master Series come down there, like he was just after that first year, he watched Ricardson come out there and dominate, and then I don't know whether he just learnt something from Tony, but he just grew horns in Australia. He just didn't seem to have that aggression at the Grand Prix level for some reason, but it's not difficult, but. When I say it's not difficult, it's extremely difficult to go and win at the World Championship. But he was there, to come second. That's pretty amazing effort anyway. But he just didn't get the drop for whatever reason, and he did it enough times and enough campaigns, So he's just not, like I said, Chris. There's not many people get to win the World Championship. There's only a handful, and you've got to have that pretty special season to do it. And unfortunately, he just missed out. But he's definitely like way up there with the best, guys that never won it. So, but hey, he's got a massive, great big house. He's enjoying life. And okay, he's obviously unfortunate. He's in a wheelchair, but it doesn't seem to bother him. And I don't think he regrets any of his career. I'd swap it. I'll give you that.
I remember around those early 90s, and I don't, Chris, you must have been just a nipper with the Quick Snacks, the Gosford Speedway. I used to go there, and then you'd have Mick Poole, Boise, Rod Carloon would come up from the Gong. There'd be, some decent sort of boys there. And I remember this one time that Shane Parker and Lee Adams turned up to Gosford, and I was just, wow, blown away by the kit that Lee always had. It looked like I'd never, ever seen dirt hit it. It was immaculate. It's like his Kevlar's had Vaseline on it so dirt wouldn't stick to it. It was just a different level, wasn't he? And on that, I will say a bit of breaking Speedway chat news is I did have a message back from his lovely wife Kylie today, Kylie Adams. We have arranged that Lee will come on and do some sort of special on the Speedway Chat Show very, very soon. So we're just going to get a date that works for Lee, obviously, and works for us. But no doubt we'll get a lot of his mates on to have their say about when Lee beat them, no doubt. But really excited about that because obviously a big name at Swindon, a big name in World Speedway, and really was that professional outfit, wasn't he, in terms of setting an example for cleanliness. I think his bikes were the bees, weren't they?
Oh man, he was like he stepped it up for Australian Speedway at the time. He was a couple of years older, 3 years older than Crumpy, on maybe 4. And those two took it to another level. And then you came obviously Todd, Ryan, and Boise, and a few of the boys. But I mean, I remember Race Lee a lot, finished second to him a lot. But I became a pretty good starter, and I always remember with Lee because he was so smooth and just very cautious. But you trap him and then you put the elbows out and you'd wobble a bit. So trying to get him to back off it. Somehow he'd sort of nip up the inside or around you. He'd have you every bloody time.
So
talking about
Jack,
absolutely gleaming, race kits. We have got a photo here from with the boys.
Oh, Jason Doyle, Chris Holder, and D-Dub. Wow. Talk us through that one, Chris.
That's in the kitchen at the Bailey House, mate.
Oh, hang on a sec. I got the shirt.
Halloween special, mate.
Jesus Christ. Look at the barnets on you.
There isn't a lick of dirt on that, is there?
Not a fucking spot.
So we got a really good generation on the bottom here. So we got Mark, my sort of generation, then Crispy, then Jack. So Jack, talk us through when you started having a ride. Who was it that I'll talk about the Lee Adamses, the Mick Pools, the Mark Lemons. The guys that were doing it when you first went to a speedway. Can you remember who you sort of went, shit, they're good, growing up, and it just as you hit, just to give us an idea on generations?
I think it was Crumpy. I think we watched a lot of the Speedway Grand Prix stuff on the TV, which was probably how many years ago?
Man, how old are you?
When it was, when it
trying to
was,
think
when
how
it
old.
was like the format thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. When were you born? I got to think when he was born, 96.
96. So they're
Yeah,
2 years into the Grand Prix. Then.
95.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so it would have been Crumpy.
Rick
Yeah.
Hudson, Sully, Lee. Just the
No,
same
alright,
guys.
their
They were
peak.
in their peak. Yeah, they were probably in their peak more or less when Jackie was just sort of having to paying attention to the TV. When
And what
turned the
about
cartoons
you?
off.
I think I like
I
the
tell you-
sidecars. I used to love the sidecars.
Yeah, he was a big sidecars fan. He was.
Yeah,
Hated
You
him.
two get on it as well, don't you? I wish we had the
Yeah, we
video.
had-
I'm sure you had a ride
Yes,
at Curry. Yes. Yeah.
On Trelaw's weapon. Madness.
I tell you what, Chris, you might remember this. My first introduction to you, it was the Newcastle Showground Australian title where Boise dominated. He turned up with his KLM engines or whatever. And why I got introduced to you, and I already done a season over here with Watto. And do you remember the race with you, Jono, and Watto?
Yeah, that wasn't
it
when
got-
Boise won. I'll tell you that much.
He did.
Not,
No.
bloody hell, I never raced Boise in an Aussie title.
No.
That's way before.
No, but it was the year he won it.
No. Boise went racing then. That
Chris,
was Lee.
Chris, I'll stop you there. It's my show,
Oh.
and I make most of my facts up on the spot.
How old do you think I am?
37.
I remember the championship though. It's like a young Chris Holder. Like I got his black tie up my left leg. You know, he's like
Yeah,
coming through. Like, who's this little bugger? You know, he was quick.
Yeah, I rode I was
What
reserve. I did like 2 heats.
Oh, did you?
Chris, what I meant to
Yeah.
say, it was at the track where Boise won his Australian title at
Yeah,
Newcastle Showground.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you remember that race? So Jono was in it. That's why I must have thought it was an Aussie title. It was Jono,
No,
you, and Watto.
Aussie.
And
It wasn't a title.
it was an
It was an
Aussie
Aussie
title, was it?
Yeah.
Last
Right.
round.
And it kept getting rerun. I think it got rerun 3 times, but
Yeah.
you were ahead every time, weren't you?
No,
And I remember
I might have even been second reserve then because something happened, then I got thrown in. And then I remember going to the tapes and like going, oh no, like what the hell? And I think I was off
And
one
you
or
won
two,
it.
so I was happy with that. Yeah, and I won.
I remember
was
that.
Good.
I remember in
Yeah. and me and Watto were going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
literally
so was
you
I.
yeah. But that was my sort of first introduction to you, and with all due respect, me and Watto went, what the fuck? But you know, obviously there was a clear talent there to be had.
Oh, that
it
was that. I don't think that track required much talent. It was just wide open, and I was just
Balls
the
open.
skinniest dude out there. Like,
Yeah.
I was the lightest bike on the field.
Powder weight.
Works every time. But
Look out.
Boy, I'll tell you a story about that. That's in Gilman, and I just won the under-21 Aussie Championship. So they were like, "Oh, can you come to Gilman and race?" Because obviously I was nobody, and then all of a sudden I won that title up in Tamworth. And we're like, "Yeah, no worries." And Pooley had finished, and I was using his bike still, and he drove us all the way over to, or with like the old man, all the way to Adelaide, like 15 hours, whatever it is. And I was so sick on the way over there. And even before I went, I had to had some kind of illness, and I had to go to hospital like 2 days before and have like a lumbar puncture where they stick it in your back to see if they thought it might have been like meningitis and shit, something like real serious. And I was all sweet, but that's the only way they could test for it or something. And I said, I've gone to race in Adelaide. And they're like, yeah, you should be all right. And then, 3 days later, I drove there and I was ill. I did practice, man. I didn't even race. I had to go lay on the hill. I won't tell you what was wrong with me, but it wasn't good.
Chris, what was her name?
Nah.
Oh,
I was
Rock
only
Story.
way back then.
You only felt good laying down.
Yeah, I could only lay. It was weird, man. If I laid down, I was all right. But as soon as I sat up, I'd had like massive migraines for some reason, like instantly.
Wow.
And I was in big trouble. But
Look at that photo again.
and look at that. Have a look at that photo again and see how good I look. I'm like, I look like death warmed up, man. Jesus.
I think if you squint, you look awesome.
Hang
Yeah.
on, I'll move back.
There's another one here where he looks pretty awesome in this one too.
Yeah, I'll take that one any day.
A good one.
What's
up
with
here,
Freddie's
Chris.
grin? Look,
The what?
Freddie.
I said, look,
Oh, Freddie.
Freddie's grin. Look at him.
He's
I
pretty
just
happy with
farted.
himself.
Living the dream.
Chris, was there? I think there's a couple of questions up. Jerry, was there any truth to the rumor that you were going to sign for the
I
Witches
think-
in 2020?
Yeah, it was close. It was pretty
Okay.
close.
Yep.
When was it? Because I was obviously going for this visa with Max to like try and be able to get back into like live in England and all the rest of it, because I haven't been able to for the last like 2.5 years, and that's been a bit of a nightmare. But I was in the process of getting that, but that takes like, it's not just a couple of weeks. It's like a 3-month wait and all the rest of it. And when that was going on, obviously I've got a good connection with Guy Nichols from True Plant and all that sort of stuff from up sponsorship up that way, and we're really good friends. And he was asking about would I be interested in riding for Ipswich, and I was planning on I wanted to race somewhere this year at some point. And then obviously but not at the minute while this is going on. I'll wait. I haven't got any money yet. But my thing was I needed to find somewhere to live first. So they were like pushing to like try and get me to go. And I was like, well, I need to wait on this visa, and I'm not going to say yes. And then I did that with Pool in 2018 or whatever it was. I said like, yep, no worries. And then my visa got denied. So then I sort of stuffed them around a little bit, and it sort of looked pretty stupid. But I said, when I get it, I'll do it. And then I think it was maybe like 3 days before they said, oh, we're going to go we can't wait any longer. And I was like, yeah, no stress, no worries. And then like 3 days later, I went and got my visa and I had it. And I was like, oh, well, unlucky. But I didn't have anywhere to live, man. I needed bikes. I needed a proper setup, and I didn't want to be rushing, like finally get this visa now that I can live and work here and like race here. I didn't want to be running around like an idiot trying to sort things out last minute. I wanted to ideally wait till like, once the season gets going, and then when things chop and change around, then I could slide in. But as it goes, no one's spun a wheel yet, so it hasn't really made much difference. But
in all seriousness, mate, your personal life over the past couple of years is been up and down. So you got every right to make sure that's right before you obviously think about racing with young Max. Yeah. So I think I seen something on social media. Was he riding through like a farm the other day on a little, was it a 50 or an 80? Was it Midlands? Was it Midlands? Not a farm at Bailey.
Come on, you got the t-shirt.
I stayed there once.
Out at Midlands joint, we've had a track there from like Darcy days, so that's still there. And Midlands young fella's been doing some work there, and Maxie's been hassling us to ride his bike, and he's getting a bit big, or he's way too big for his peewee, and I'm looking to go to Poland in a couple of weeks, so I had to sweeten the deal and give him my 110. So that's like the trade-off.
Oh, that must have hurt you. You gave something away.
Kind of. I still own it apparently, but I lent it to him. But yeah, so that was like, one of them things. But yeah, he's riding. He's loving it.
So we got one here from Ben Trigger.
I was just about to mention
Plymouth Gladiators mascot, and it's for Jack and for Mark. And what do you think of the Plymouth track?
As you rode there,
a little bull ring. I bounced around there a few times.
I think we all have.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Say, Letmo, you went round there a few times too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did one season down there.
Right.
Yeah, so I went down there and rode down there. So no, it's a tricky little track. It was a great for me, because I could trap, so you get in front and like a roadblock. I think so. I think Doyley, on my last year racing, I think I blew away Doyley, so I'm going to hang the hat on that one. So he wasn't too happy. But
if you beat Jason Doyle, have you ever beat Chris?
He has, Stoke. One time
from the back.
Yeah. Well, there was no dirt on it, and I think
what do you mean, wow?
Great putting the boards, and he was ripping around the curve, and I kept looking like this bastard's like, I can't. Well, like that, I couldn't get enough to go, and he was there, and he just got me. I'll give him that one
on the line.
Well, technically, Mark, if you've beat Jason Doyle and Chris Holder, technically you're world champion.
Well, I'll take that. You know,
It's a technicality.
it's the closest I'll ever get. So, but no, it's like I mean, to be fair, like I'm at the tail end of my career, and these guys are coming over. So I kind of knew all the tricks, and these guys were just young and green and sort of pretty brave, and sort of Now they'd probably lap me, no doubt. So
No doubt.
no
No doubt, yeah.
no doubt.
Chris,
So we've got one here from
your first.
Craig.
Go on.
Go on, go.
Oh.
No, go. Go, Jerry.
Okay,
Welcome
we've got
back.
one from
Come on,
Craig
go.
Smee asking about any chance of getting them in an Aces race jacket in the future. Work your magic, Lemo.
Classic.
We tried. A
Try.
couple of years ago, didn't we? But obviously, you went to end up going to Kings Lynn because we when they exchanged with the promotions. But no one was certain of what was going to happen at Bellevue at that particular time. But we'd spoke, and then obviously over the years, sort of there's been reasons why we've either been full or Chris hasn't been in England. So, and obviously the visa is a pain in the
now
butt.
I'm like shit sorted out. I'm good to go again. I'm like starting my career again. It's good fun. It actually feels like I got no money, no nothing, not riding.
Chris, I'm
The
going to
hunger's
send
back.
you a flag.
Thanks, mate.
It's all right. I'll sign it. Lemo, one thing that keeps going around in my head, I asked someone this the other day, just hypothetically, British Speedway does not get up and running this year, and I really want it to. God, there's going to be some dishes, nice race levers and everything, different sponsors and stuff going around in there. Or would the 2020 signings be binded to the clubs for 2021?
I mean, that's yet to be decided, but let's hope and pray that we get to Seasman Speedway. But I think those conversations would be had. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Really, no one spun a wheel. The regulations wouldn't change. So there's no reason why you couldn't see the same teams line up. I mean, I'm just hypothetically saying that because no one actually knows what's going to be the outcome. So, but I think that's a pretty decent observation, really.
I thought Charlie was going to try and blag a race suit. Then.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to hit me up there, to be quite honest. So.
I was just about to, and then you just come in there and cut me grass.
He came in on early when you first started up. He's like, Leno, you got any merchandise? I want a hat and I want a T-shirt. I'm like,
I didn't.
We sent them all to the bushfire appeal that day at the meeting back at home, but obviously that didn't happen. So I was like, no, I haven't. And then he just blew me out. It's just like,
whatever. I know it's like asking for blood out of a stone, asking you, so I didn't ask.
tight budget.
Anyway, Jack, one for you here, mate. I don't know what it's about. Did Jack enjoy the famous Heat 13 at Bellevue versus Somerset? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that was the Fricky and
on TV, wasn't it?
and Cookie and Doily. Yeah, that was awesome. Did I enjoy it? Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think I got third. Max pipped us both on the line, so I got third. But no, it's Bellevue's such an awesome track, and to have I think it's one of the best races in Speedway, pretty much. And it was awesome to be a part of it. But I definitely did enjoy it. Thank you. Hope you did too.
Yeah,
Jack's had quite a few of them races actually, not just the one.
I've had a couple
many.
around there.
Yeah.
Good pep talk, Lemo.
An update on the shares. We're now at 57 shares, which is
we're short.
quite a good
Keep-
improvement on
Keep
what we had
hitting those
before,
shares.
but it's not quite there yet. So get
Yes,
sharing, everybody.
but we've got 24 hours to get the shares to 100. He said, Jerry.
Yeah, he did say that. So get the shares to 100 within 24 hours, and
Because when our Aussies come on, they're just going to share the shit, aren't they?
Hopefully.
Here's a question for three there. Obviously, personalities in Speedway at normally every track. You guys know Wombat in Australia?
Yeah,
Do you know his first name?
I do actually.
Yeah.
Who knows it?
Is it Chad?
No, I was thinking about this today. Right,
No,
so
hang on. What is his name?
okay, so I'll just tell the story. So
George.
in Australia, No.
George?
So listen, in Australia, there's a guy called Wombat, right? I grew up with Wombat. We're really good mates. And to be fair, I haven't spoken to him for a few years. Last time I seen him was at his dad's funeral, Bobby Dunn. But Wombat is one of those personalities that everyone knows him as Wombat, but very few people actually know he's actually got a real name. And he has WW tattooed on each bum cheek. So when he bends over, it says "Wow." True story. So you don't know Wombat's name. I hope he watches this, and because Chris, you're one of his favorites. If you don't know his name, bloody hell.
It's not what you think it is. I remember that's why I just said, Shane, what I said.
Did he not ride at Gosford? The fucking.
He was on the clown bike.
He was the clown, like in the early days, wasn't he? Wombat is an absolute speedway legend in Australia, and his dad Bob, who passed away a couple of years ago, was an absolute mate. The TAP series, he was involved. Parramatta Speedway, he was involved. Gosford, he was involved. A true speedway family. But Wombat, I was going to ask you, blokes, is there a personality in speedway that you just everywhere you go, you know you're going to see them? And I think Wombat was the bloke that whenever you went to Gosford or wherever, if he was around, it was always going to be a good laugh. You got anyone, Lemo?
Well, we used to have every World Cup. We'd have, I can't think of the guy's name now. The big ponytail, hair. He's come. He's from like Sydney way. Yeah, well, but he used to always have it in a hotel, didn't he? Brian, is it? Brian, yeah. So we used to see him everywhere we went, and like obviously in Australia, you go to a meeting. Oh, there he is. You know.
Wait, what about at Pocking? Remember we seen
Todd Wiltshire. We did. We were doing track walk.
Photo.
Yeah, we did under 21 semi-final, World Team Cup semi-final. We're walking around, like looking in the crowd, like, man, that guy looks like Todd Wiltshire. You know, he matured a little bit, you know, around the waist. So we like, mate, come on down here. Like, he's like, what? We want to have a photo with you, Todd. We started calling Todd. So he's jumped in there, like, oh, happy. We're like got a snap out with Todd Wiltshire. So Todd was made up with that, actually. We sent it to him.
So Wombat's Chris, you got anyone? It's probably Wombat, isn't it?
Gone blank.
Do you know his name? It's got 4 letters in it.
What is it?
Paul.
Oh, he's gonna be gutted, boys. Honestly.
Brad.
I say it's top. Yeah, is it not Brad?
Nah.
Go on.
Starts with T.
Todd.
Troy.
Troy.
It is Troy, yes.
Troy
This is a great story for a person that most people don't know.
We're Australians, mate.
Does he still do the clown trick?
No, God, no.
That's right.
He used to have a really good job. He used to fill the buses at Sydney Bus Depot. That's good. Anyway, listen, guys.
Talking of tricks, people keep asking me to do magic tricks and stuff, and I have actually got a video from the Darcy night.
I'm going.
It's a setup.
I have bleeped out a few swear words, but not all of them, so I'll let everybody watch.
This is gold. This is comedy gold.
You kidding? Can't, my feet are stuck. No way. No. My feet are stuck. No.
Hand is stuck to your head, like your feet are stuck to the floor. Cannot put your hand on your head. Try and put your hand on your head and see if it's stuck.
Nah, dude, I'm stuck.
No. Click my fingers. Your hand can come off your head. You forget your name. Your name comes stuck to the end of your tongue and you can't say your name.
Holder.
Try and say your name.
Chris Holder.
You can talk, but you
Chris
can't
Holder.
say your name.
World champion is Billy Bob. You know it's Billy Bob. World champion.
Okay,
2012.
Touch your nose. You remember your name.
Chris Holder.
Okay, take your finger off.
Holy fuck. Fucking hell, man. My name's... Oh my god. No way. Chris Holder, mate. Doily.
Say the word sleep. Close your eyes.
Wait, make him do a chicken.
Relax, okay?
Make him do a chicken.
Make you talk like a chicken.
No. What? No way.
So one to open your eyes, and you're going to believe your name is Princess. Every time someone asks you your name, you're going to say, my name's Princess, your mum's called you Princess, your dad's called you Princess, everyone's called you Princess for the rest of your life. Okay, one to open your eyes.
Oi, what's your name, bro? What's your name, bro? Sorry, what's your name?
Princess.
Yes, do it on me.
Hey, yo, hey.
What's your name, man? What's your name?
Princess, bro.
Okay, here.
No way.
No way, Princess. Look at me. Oi, you can see. Drop your head down.
No way.
Oh, no way. In a second, I'm going to say one to open your eyes. You're going to be able to move your feet and you're going to be able to keep your balance. But the number 3 is going to be completely gone from your head. You cannot remember the number 3. So if you count to 10, you're going to go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, one to open your eyes.
Yeah, boys.
Okay, good. Right, okay. How many fingers you got?
10.
Okay, count your fingers forward. Just go what?
1, 2.
Once you get to win a race.
Oh my god. 7, 8, 9. Wait, how good is that? Oh, C8! Princess!
One, two. Okay, look at me. Deeper.
There you go, Chris.
That's got to be a stitch up.
I just got rid of it.
Couldn't hear anything.
You couldn't hear it?
We couldn't hear it.
No,
Oh, we heard it.
thank
Oh, you
God.
couldn't hear it? Oh, everybody else heard it. What do you remember from that night, Chris?
Oh,
Oh.
and I was hypnotised a lot.
Listen, blokes, you've
Little.
thanks for coming on and having a chat about all
You
things
can't hear Charles
Australia.
either.
Yeah, can't hear them.
Oh, you can't hear Charlie? Okay, so he's saying,
Oh,
right,
now
so it's
someone
gone.
back on. No, mate. Yeah, I can hear you.
Right,
mate.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Good. Charles, I don't know if
Yeah,
Charles
he's
is
back.
there. Can you hear? Yeah, he's back. Okay, cool. Carry on. You can do the talking bit.
I told you Brady would come on. He was in the background there, wasn't he? Yeah, listen, guys, thanks for coming on and having a chat about, a bit of the preparations with Australia got to do, Lemo. It's been a pleasure. And you boys, sincerely hope you sincerely hope you get to start riding the bike soon and start making these viewers really happy. We've got boys back in Australia. We've got boys all over the world just sat around twiddling their thumbs. But it's been a good laugh as always with you two. A shame we couldn't hear Max and Brady done a runner, but we'll get Ginge on again sometime. Yeah, thanks a lot for coming on. It's a pleasure.
No drama.
No
Too
worries.
easy.
So we've got 24 hours to get these videos shared over 100 times. So Lemo's going to have to give something away.
I like the fact that Charlie wants stuff for free, and Lemo was like, "No, I'll give it to the fans." Which is good.
Do you
I like
think
that.
that's funny, Jerry? No, it's all good. It's all good.
Actually, Lemo, when we spoke earlier, Lemo said, "What's the most shared video that you have?" And I had to look through, and it was 65 shares was the video with Darcy Ward, and we're at 61 now. So this video, if people carry on, will be the most shared video that we've had so far. So let's have a look at the viewed minutes, because we were looking for last Friday's video that actually has really good viewed minutes. It's actually like the 4th most watched video out of all of them. So it's like closely behind Ty's video, Bruce Pennell, and the Darcy video. The Darcy video is done insane. It's got nearly 50,000 viewed minutes of it. But yeah, so look, now there's a bit of a challenge between people on who's going to get the most viewed minutes on their video, and this one should do good.
Yeah, it's always good when Jack Holder, because those blue eyes. Have you still got those blue eyes, Jack?
Nah, I lost them.
Did you? That
Yeah.
night, no doubt. Oh,
Probably.
made angry next year. Who was that boy next year? Did you meet him that night?
Nah, he's a mate.
Chris. Chris is gone.
Who's the dude behind? Look at the dude behind.
Some random.
You can't look that angry in a Hawaiian shirt, can you? It looks a bit like Max Frick behind old mate, doesn't it?
It does. I
I
think
thought
it
it
is.
was Chris.
No, not me,
I thought
man.
it was Chris.
Fucking your eyes check, mate. Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah, listen.
Yeah, lost him. I would have put him in
yeah.
for you.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, look, great laugh as always. It's good, just nice to have a chat and have some social interaction and a bit of speedway in between. So thanks you boys for coming on, having a chit chat. Just to recap as well, we can confirm that Lee Adams will be on the show very, very soon. We're just trying to get a date that works for Lee and get some friends along to recap on what is a remarkable career from the 10 times Australian champion. And arguably one of the greatest ever riders to live. So stay tuned for that one. Thanks again to everyone.
We also next Tuesday also we have a another show coming from America next Tuesday.
Oh, tell me a bit more, Jerry. Just
No, I'm not telling you anything.
yeah, I got a mouth, haven't I? Yeah, great stuff. What are you boys doing tonight anyway? Going to grab a kebab?
Yeah.
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 Probably
Yeah.
KFC, something
Fitness.
decent.
Fitness. Yeah.
I can smell Emma.
Past my bedtime.
Where are you in the world, Chris?
What is? I don't even know what the time is. What is the time? Oh, yeah.
20
I'm gonna
past
go
8.
find something to watch on Netflix, mate.
I tell you what, we'll say goodbye all together and we'll land it right there, eh?
See you, Frankie.
See you, mate.
Stay safe,
See you, mate.
Frankie,
See you, mate.
don't tell him. Don't tell him.
See ya.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
See ya.
Ciao. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
And off they go. Look at that. Just like that.
Everyone's gone.
Butterflies. Everyone's gone. Oh, well,
That's a good
BK.
one, Charlie.
Yeah, BK got held up at the track, which the Polish promotion, you can't argue with them. So BK was Brady Kurtz
He
was supposed
actually
to come
was
on.
messaging me during the show just to say I'm trying to get on and I don't think he could work it out or something. But that he just no luck. Never mind.
No, look, it's a
another
good
time.
chat, and that's what the show's that's what the show's about as well, isn't it? Just a bit of chit chat on a Tuesday and a Friday to have some interaction with people during these times, which are getting eased. So lots of more people being able to get out and about. But a couple of good shows are coming up in the next few weeks. So everyone, again, stay safe and hopefully see you very soon.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye.